Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're gonna be working on cool icons. You can see an icon with a cool background transition and a color transition. I use my icons, or I use these icons from Font Awesome CDN version 5.6.0. 5.9.0. So yeah, you can just pretty much get any icons you want. Just make sure you link to them from your HTML. Go ahead, grab a few icons. You can just copy the same ones I use. It's good for sort of social media links that you stick all around your website. Alright, great, there we are. So we have our 4 icons, all anchor tagged, and we're gonna, in our CSS, hit a basic reset, padding 0, margin 0, and box size border box. In our body, we're gonna create a background, white background with 100 viewpoint height, flex display, and center everything using justify center and align items. There you go. So we're going to select class box and center all the objects again within the class. Display flex, justify content, align item center. No, yeah, we don't need to alter the width just yet. So now we're selecting the anchor tags within the box class. I'm just going to copy that. Same, I'm going to center everything within the anchor tags as well. Give that a width of 34 pixels and a height of 34 pixels and a 1 pixel solid border, white. I'll give it a margin left. There you go. And they're still square. So we'll take away the underline from the text decoration and give our border radius 100%. There you go. Little circles around our icons. Now to prepare for our animation, we're going to give it a transition duration of 0.3 seconds. And create our pseudo elements. After element with an empty content string. Width of 34 pixels, height of 34 pixels. Background. I'll give it some sort of pinky reddy. Man, I should really learn color names better. Alright, and border radius 100%. Nope. Now I got them shifted because of the position absolute. Okay, that means we got to do a position relative. And align the top 0, left 0. To get it right underneath our grade. But we can't see our icons anymore. So we're going to give the opacity a change to 0. Great. Now, for the animation effect, we're going to add a hover effect so that when you hover over the button, the after is changed. Let's just slow down duration. And we'll add transform, we'll add a scale. We're going to make the scale at the beginning 0.3 even though it's invisible. And then when our opacity is 1, when we hover, also our scale becomes 1. So it grows. Not only does it appear, but it also grows. Pretty simple effect. But now, we're going to define a color. I'm going to change the color for all the icons to a purple. when I give the width the size 18 pixels, the height is auto. So it'll fix the ratio, so it doesn't squish in, you know. There you go. Now we're gonna just send it back to our z-index. Oh, now it's still a little bit buggy. Let's see. Let's fix that. No, it's aligned to the center. So change our height. No. Just a second. Oh, yeah, we still have it. We still have the margin on our first, because we added margin left to all the different icons. We're just going to remove the margin from the first icon. We'll select it using the first child. And there you go. So we've removed the margins. You can see it's disappeared. What we need to do is remove the border, which we have from the beginning, over our icon. So what we're going to do is we'll select the anchor tags, and then when we hover, there you go. It gets rid of the border. It looks much cleaner. There you go. That's it for today. For now. Make sure you watch more videos today. Time is money. See you later. Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be working on this button effect with the two swirling snakes. Fairly simple. You'll see in a minute. As usual, any questions you have, head to our QA section. So what we've got here is an anchor tag with empty href link for now. We're going to use 4 spans. Now, spans isn't of themselves are useless, but when you use them with the div classes and you start applying classes or so forth, and you can start doing fancy things with them, as you'll see now. We're going to start just by a basic reset and defining, as you can see, our before and after, and padding 0, margin 0. It's actually a new way of resetting in CSS as opposed to some of the older ways you might be familiar with, but they all still work. Box string border box. Great, what we're going to do now is we're going to define our body, which is the button itself. We're going to give it a height of 100 viewport height, background dark blue or dark blue. And we're going to font family sans serif. You'll see I'll probably use most of my videos. Display flex, justify content center, and align items center. Yeah, that pretty much just centers all our elements in the middle. There you go. That's what you see now. I can already see we're going to get rid of that underline there, because how the browser displays our link is not the way we want to keep it. So we're going to start defining our anchor tags. You can see them there. Now this is defining all these spans within it as well. So we're going to change our color to a light blue, 30 pixels of vertical padding, and 60 pixels of width. Our font size was 30 pixels. Now, essentially the padding, remember, it's the size of the button itself, as opposed to the margin, which is the distance between spaces. You should know all this already. Letter spacing 2 pixels, text transform uppercase, and text duration none. That removes our underline from the link. I'm just going to add a little bit of box shadow. So it's 20 pixels on the vertical and 50 pixels of blur. Now, we're going to hide overflow. You'll see why in a moment. Just any elements that leave our button itself within the padding will disappear. There you go. So we look like so far. You can see the shadow. Position relative. Right now we're gonna create a before element just so we can add a little bit of design. We're gonna put a small box to the left of our button, a darker color, an empty content string, because you don't need text. But you need to, don't forget to write that or else it won't work. Position absolute, which is absolute to the last relative, which is our anchor tag. So we're gonna give it 2 pixels from the top and 2 pixels from the left. Leaves room for our snakes, you'll see in a moment, or a few moments. And the bottom 2 pixels as well, and width 50%. So background, I'll just give it a slightly different color. All right. There you go. You can see, so the before element's pretty much just a lighter box on the left. Now we're going to start styling our spans using nth child. It's just selecting. So if we got 4 of them, then nth child 1 it'll be the first. I'm going to give it position absolute. And top 0, left 0, width 100%, and height 2 pixels. Okay, these are our snakes. The 4 different spans are the snakes for each side. Our background linear gradient to right. And you can use your own colors, just copy the ones I'm using. Alright. Okay, you can see the first snakes on the top. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy this. We're going to create 4 of them, just changing the width and the height. So they're either vertical, and the position, so they're either vertical or horizontal. Alright. So now, top 0 and right 0. Our width is 2 pixels and our height is 100%. That's of our button. And we just change the direction of the linear gradient. See, pretty simple. So I'm going to put it at the bottom left. Or, make it the bottom right. And linear gradient to left. And our last one is just give me a sec. So height 100, width 2 pixels. Linear gradient to top. And there we go. So now we got our 4 sides with a linear gradient. Now in the animation we're going to do, we're just going to, I'll show you what it looks like with the overflow hidden first. So I typed it out as a comment. I'm going to start keyframes animate 1, we'll call it animate 1, that's the name of our animation. And at 0% we're going to translate X to minus 100%. That's off the screen to the left. And 100% we're going to translate to 100%. Copy that 4 times. And yet again, each time just changing between the X and the Y. And the name for each one for animate 2, animate 3, animate 4. See, so here for animate 2, we translate the Y same, and on this one, yeah, I can't. I'm not good at doing more than one thing at once. Okay, animate 4, translate Y 100%, translate Y minus 100. Animate 3. Alright, now animation, animate 1. 2-second linear infinite. Now you can see yourself if you make the code. If you remove an element of it, remove what you're seeing now is without overflow hidden. So you see the snake starts before the box and ends after the box. And you can play around with durations and with delete the infinite, delete the linear, see how it affects it, see how you can better make it on your page and make it suit you. Alright, so we got all 4 of them firing. What we need to do is A, hide the overflow, and B, exactly. And B, what we're gonna do is hit a delay, because right now it's 4 separate lines firing, but we want them to connect. So by delaying the, we'll delay the vertical ones, and it make the second span and the fourth span, you can see they'll connect. Awesome. Alright, so what we've got 4 spans firing, but it looks like 2 snakes. They're just running around the border of our button continuously. Alright guys, see you later. Hey there and welcome back. In this lecture we're going to be doing a neon snake button. All right, you can see as we hover, we have a little snake effect and then a glow. So we're going to need 4 spans with our anchor tag and just the text neon button, which is, that's how it looks like, how the browser displays it, but it's not going to look like that for long. So we're going to just do our basic CSS reset, padding 0, margin 0, box sizing, border box. And we're going to go ahead and style our body. Display flex, justify content center, align item center. Alright. Now we're going to min height 100 viewpoint height, which puts us right in the middle of the screen. And background, a dark blue. And font family, we will use Consolas. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to style our anchor tag, which contains all the spans. We're going to make its position relative. Display inline block. And padding 15 pixels on the sides. 15 pixels up and down, 30 pixels on the sides. We're going to make it light blue, the font. Text transform. What was it? Uppercase. And letter spacing 4 pixels. Just going to get rid of the text decoration, which is the underline that comes automatically with the link. If you've been watching other lectures, this probably won't be new to you. It's very similar, most of the beginning stuff. So font size 24 pixels, overflow is hidden, and our text transition, our transition is 0.2 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to define our hover. I'm going to give it a light blue color and a background of a lighter blue. Sorry, text is light, don't know the color even. Maybe it's grayish blue, and the background's a light blue. Transition delay of 1 second and a box shadow of just 10 pixels of blur. Same color as the background. And we're just going to go ahead and add a few different blurs. All right, so then a few different shadows, so it appears as a nice glowing effect. Each one with a slightly larger blur. Now we're going to define all our spans as position absolute display block. And we're going to go ahead and define each one separately. So the top one will be nth child 1, top 0, left minus 100%. So it's not visible because overflow is hidden. It's actually off the screen. Width 100%, which is identical to the height of the button, to the width of the button, and height 2 pixels. Now our background will be a linear gradient, 90 degrees, which is like saying from left or from right. And it goes from transparent to a light blue. Okay, so if we take off the overflow hidden, you can see where it is. It's off the screen. Okay, so we're gonna add a hover effect for the first span. And what we'll do is we'll just change the left so that it's at 100%. So we'll have it leave the screen, and the transition takes 1 second. All right, so it starts to the left, moves to the right. Now we want to we don't want it to repeat, so we won't add linear infinite or anything of the sort. Now we're going to do the bottom part of the snake, which is the third nth child. And all we're going to say is bottom 0, right minus 100, width 100%, and height 2 pixels. We're going to use the same linear gradient. Just change it to 270 degrees. That's like saying from right. Yeah, 90 degrees is like saying from left. And yet again, we're going to add a hover effect to that third nth child, so that right changes to 100% and the transition takes 1 second. Now we're going to add a delay of 0.5 seconds. So you can see if we do 0.5 seconds, it happens at the same time. So we'll need a we'll need to play with the delays a bit more. So now we're gonna do our right side of the box. Will be our second nth child. Top minus 100%. Means it's above the box. Right 0, width 2 pixels. And height 100% of our button, of our anchor tag. Yet again, copy the same background, only change the degrees to 180 degrees, which is top to bottom. And yet again, hover effect, change it to top 100%, which is distance from top, so it puts it below the box. Transition 1 second, transition delay 0.25. Okay, so they all happen right at the same time. So yeah, we don't need to play the delay. We just need to hide the overflow to create the effect. Now our left one, nth child 4, bottom 100%, which means it's below the box, minus 100%. Left 0, width 2 pixels, height 100%. And yet again, paste the same linear gradient. Just change it to 360 degrees. So it's bottom to top. And add a hover effect for the fourth span. That is bottom 100%, transition 1 second, transition delay 0.75 seconds. So the whole animation happens in 1 second. And just a moment. Okay, yeah, we're going to change the first. All right, so the second you hide overflow and you get them all lined up with their delays, what we have is all the snakes are off one by one, and then the button goes. So if you look at it all at once, there you go. Span 1, span 2, span 3, span 4, and then the glows. Awesome. All right, there you go. See you next lecture. Take care. Any questions? Q&A.